Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Elite Clockman here. Episode 27 of SKIBIDI Multiverse just dropped, and if I'm being honest with you, my friends, it broke my heart. Even though we finally saw the mysterious woman in action, and believe me, she is even more terrifying and powerful than I ever imagined, today, the clock base was destroyed. Most importantly, we lost the fantastic leader of the clocks, and unfortunately, it wasn't a pleasant death, especially for a great heroic leader like him. But we'll get to it after we start our analysis of the episode. But before we start, my dear friends, be sure to like and subscribe in order to pay your respects to our fallen hero, the leader of the clocks, and to our dear clock base, where we celebrated victories and mourned loss and defeat with our favorite time manipulators. Anyways, here we go. The episode starts off with a tablet delivering an urgent message. Emergency message, abandoned base. It was an emergency. After that, we see the clocks preparing to evacuate their dear base with the rest of the Alliance, rushing to pack the strict necessary. And here we can see a tall clockman helping one of his injured brother evacuating their home, showing us once again the fraternity of the Alliance and their loyalty to each other. Everyone is rushing to the clock helicopter except our soon-to-be-gone hero leader of the clocks, who's staying for the last to make sure that the evacuation goes well. In the same scene, we can see the clockwoman telling him to get on the helicopter with her. But he reassured her, and to her to go. Being the model leader that he is, he puts the safety of his friends and people before his like a true hero. As Clockwoman was heading to the exit, the clockman suddenly stopped her, and after a short silence, a purple explosion threw both of them on the ground, as we see the mysterious woman that commands the toilets entering the room walking towards them, while holding an enigmatic sphere. That might be her weapon, saying, "Your actions happen like clockwork, absolutely expected from the leader of the clocks. Having the ability to look into the future is really scary, you know. How much 10 seconds? Here, try to use the original audio instead of our AI. It will be easier and make a better effect if you want. Also, there are lots of pauses in the original audio, so cut them if you'd like. And if you rewind the video and pay close attention, you'll notice that there is actually 10 seconds between the moment the leader grabbed the clockwoman's hand and the explosion. Shout out to our friends in Dom Studios, and I tip my hat to the editors. What a great detail. Anyway, the leader of the clocks could tell that she was no ordinary adversary. In an act of heroism, he forced Clockwoman to evacuate the building using the secret passage. At that moment, we see a scared alarm clockman hidden behind the table, trembling as he grabbed his knife, preparing for combat. The mysterious enemy mockingly added that there is no need to be scared. He'll die in the end anyway. She said that she's here just to let them meet their destiny sooner. In the next scene, we see the ground trembling not far from the clock base, indicating the arrival of the traitorous Titan Drillman, coming to destroy the clock base, as he was ordered at the end of episode 25. Now, we should keep in mind that the giant red Titan isn't doing that out of revenge, hatred, or even spite. On the contrary, he is forced to, because the toilets are holding the courageous drill woman hostage. After that, we see the clock leader telling his friend to back off as he prepared himself for combat. Notice how the poor clocks are on their guards while the mysterious commander of the toilet is completely confident and relaxed. You can simply tell by the mischievous smile on her face. You can clearly see that she is a formidable opponent even compared to someone as skilled as the leader of the clocks. She is certainly dangerous, but her level is still unknown. She could be right below our loved titans in the series. Dare I say, even above the weakest titan? She really is a mystery. But enough talking, it was time to fight. Or so did I thought. As our great clock leader was preparing for the fight, we can clearly see some clock particles coming out of his hand, when suddenly his friend was hit by an unexpected headache and lost his balance when he got back on his feet. He wasn't himself anymore. We can see Alarm Clockman channeling the clock particles into his watch, robbing his higher-up from his... The leader of the clocks was confused when suddenly the horrific unexpected happened. The leader of the clocks was stabbed as his iconic cane fell on the ground, and it turns out it was none other than his dear friend and brother-in-arms, Alarm Clockman. What followed was complete savagery. I couldn't believe what will happen, which broke my heart. Alarm Clockman started to mercilessly stab our hero in the back. After that, he turned his once beloved leader to him, and like an animal began stabbing him in the chest, Our hero was struggling as his supposed friend looked him in the eye. He couldn't believe what happened. Betrayed by someone who fights for the same cause, and as his underling and trusted friend he was supposed to protect. But let's not call him a traitor right away. It looked like he was under control. Could this be the mysterious woman's power? And if it is, then the fight of the Alliance just became 10 times harder. His iconic hat fell from his head, in pain, and now on his knees the leader of the clocks was now at the mercy of the commander of the toilets. And then what we all feared finally happened. Alarm Clockman raised his knife and struck with all his might. Our dear and beloved clock leader was now decapitated. He met his end not at the hand of his enemies, but backstabbed by his precious comrade. And honestly, being one of the most well-written characters in the series, he definitely didn't deserve to die such a cheap death. Not even death itself. Dying at the hands of your own men. One of the worst fates for such a great leader. After coming back to his senses, Alarm Clockman witnessed the horror of his action and ran away. The toilets had won. The woman held the head of our fallen hero and then threw it on the ground, calling him pathetic. Next, we see the clock base trembling as Titan Drillman emerges from the ground as the clock base was falling to the ground. What a sad night for our heroes. The mysterious commander of the toilets was smiling as she was satisfied. In the next scene, we see her standing in the palm of her red Titan, laughing like a crazy maniac. And then she said with a lunatic tone, "I did it, Master. I prepared everything. Now we can begin, Uncle. Here you go. Listen to it yourself."
I did it, Master! I prepared everything! Now, we can begin our conquer.
And as it turns out, the mysterious woman wasn't actually the leader of the toilets, but rather his student and his niece. But what kind of demonic beast could the leader of the toilets be? And what are that preparing for? It sure is a mystery, but what I can guarantee is that the next episodes will certainly not disappoint.